Get off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live, Rumble, Podchaser, Streaker, Spreaker, and more. Why so many places? Well, no matter where I go, I'm always trying to balance out bad news and good news because Lord knows there's so much bad news out there right now. So that's why I have been doing this for 7 consecutive weeks on radio, on camera, and bringing you topics and guests to help us balance out all the what's wrong with people with what is right with people. And today is no exception. And in fact, too, we actually could have had this day off. And I talked to my fab co-host and said, you still want to do a live show today? And he said, absolutely. So we're coming to you live on Happy July 4th. And who do I have with me? Ricky Rebel. You know him. Let's see. You know him from many different places. And because he was discovered by Michael Jackson and signed to his label, he's been on tour with Britney Spears. He is a Grammy voting member and signed to Madonna's label. So, and has a discography that is larger than he even realizes because he doesn't keep count. And I keep asking him, how many is it? But you know him as my co-host for Straight Talk on Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa. Welcome back to the studio, Ricky Rebel.
Thank you for having me on.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm broadcasting live from Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
Beautiful, beautiful. We don't ever stop working. We keep it going. We keep it moving.
That's right. That's right. And I see the rebels are rebelling in.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I see them on the comment.
Happy 4th.
Hogue. I haven't said that in a while. I know I learned how to pronounce it correctly. We've got Joe Williams.
Hey. Hello, Joe.
You and Anne-Marie Wood O'Rourke.
Oh, Anne, what's up, Anne?
You're my idol. I've absolutely loved you since you first started out with No Authority. Oh,
we're getting back together.
Yeah,
we are getting back
together.
Long
time rebel, right?
Yeah, she's a real long time rebel. I think I remember her on tour. I think I remember meeting her when we were on tour.
Oh, that's so cool. Do you remember where? Oh, that's.
Oh, I don't. I remember.
Yeah, I shouldn't have asked that. I can't.
No, it's okay. It's okay. But just the fact that I remember her, like meeting her and everything. So
yeah,
we were going to so many cities,
right.
A new city every night. It's hard to tell the difference between places.
How long were you on tour?
For like years. Sometimes we would just keep going and going, and then we come back for a month, and then we keep going.
Wow, that's
go to Europe. We toured the U.S. I would get so sad when I came back home. I didn't want to be home.
I bet.
I'm the opposite of like, people who get homesick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, no.
You get out and about.
Yeah, I get out and about sick. I need to be out.
That's great. Let's get started with breakfast. Y'all know that I like to start the show taking a bite of my gratitude sandwich, top of the bun, things that we're grateful for, bottom of the bun, because I like it on the bottom.
Me too.
It's holiday, so I can see that. What we like about ourselves. So gratitude turned inwards or appreciation. And I love it when the rebels play along in the chat. Let's see if we can't come up with a quick 8. Top and bottom 8, because 8's a lucky number in Chinese. I know you thought I was Swedish, but I'm actually Chinese. It's a homophone for good fortune. So that's why we do 8. Here we go. What are you grateful for, Ricky?
First thing I gotta say, my cats. I gotta say it.
Yeah.
I gotta say it. I love my cats. She woke me up today. She goes running my body. She to wake me up at like 4:30 a.m. Most people would be like, "Oh my gosh," but I'm so grateful to have her. Willow and Max. Max is very close to my partner.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also grateful for my partner. That's 2.
Mm-hmm. That's 3. 2 cats and a partner.
That's 3.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. I'm grateful that the blood clots were taken care of enough that the second flight was not canceled. First flight to Canada for my mother's funeral, which is tomorrow, was not canceled the second time. So I'm here in time to speak and sing and organize the celebration of life for Rose Pay. So I'm grateful that I got here. I'm grateful that I get to see family because I was born in Canada. That's why I say, let's put the moose on the table instead of talking about the elephant in the room. And the third gratitude is for you, because
Likewise.
I'm so grateful to have someone who we're the poster children of. We're more than our political beliefs. We're more than our experiences. That love transcends and is stronger than all of the BS that we have. So
we are definitely a testament to that. And I love how I'm grateful that I match the decor of everything. This is so cool.
We've yet to not match, and we don't do emails or memos on what are you wearing. So
it's a little scary. I'm not gonna lie. I met a psychic yesterday.
Ooh.
I do Pilates, and she came in, and she was telling me that when I touched her, she felt immense amounts of love, and so something was trying to come through, like a spirit was trying to come through. And she's like, "No, stop! I'm working out. No, please don't."
Wow.
So I feel like there's you and I kind of have a little psychic connection going on.
My fingers just started tingling a bit when you started talking about that.
Yeah.
You feel it? I can feel you.
Yeah.
All right. Now everyone's going to be like, "What?"
Because I feel like you need that support. You're going through. Yeah. There's a lot going on, and this is the only time we talk. We don't really talk on the phone. Which is good because that gets to us to be like very real on camera and very real for the people. And
I don't allow my co-host to tell me what's going on until we're on the air because I want to keep it fresh, and it's also because both of us have schedules like crazy. And so this show is, y'all may enjoy the show, but the real reason why we do the show is to make sure we keep current with each other.
That's really what we're doing here. So I'm grateful for that, to have the show. Grateful to, there's my record is out with Snoop Dogg, with the Gucci Mane, with The Game. I've got records with really high level rappers. Lil Wayne, if you check on Spotify, you can find everything. Just go Ricky Rebel, Snoop Dogg, Ricky Rebel, Gucci Mane, and it should show up. So that collaboration happened. One of my movies, the movie that one of my songs is in called Time Will Tell, was a selection at the Dances with Film Festival. It was a beautiful red carpet. Shout out to Vera Vanguard and her incredible film Apocalypse Love, available now. If you go to apocalypselovemovie.com, you can watch this puppet movie, and my song plays at the very end. And it's like, it makes me so happy to see the way she interpreted my music with the puppets. It's like the end scene, and they're kissing. It's just so like beautiful. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so moved. And with the producer from Duran Duran for 9 years, this really old man who's just the spirit of like an eight, you know what I mean? The youthful young person inside of him. He's just like, wow, I love your song. And I was so grateful to hear it from like a master, basically.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Right.
So I'm grateful for all of that.
Yeah. Let's see. We've got rebels, nice rebels out here.
Rebel.
Let's see. She's been in the 90s, and she feels the same way.
Ricky Rebel.
See, YouTube read minds. That's the energy. Thank you, Diane, for that sentiment. And the cool thing is, I'm trying to. I know it's a respectful thing to say, I'm sorry for your loss, but I wrote this on the program that nobody's ever lost. Like when they die, they're never lost. And because they are, forever in our hearts, and they're also loving us from the other side. So that's the thing that I've been saying lately. Oh, wow. You survived a pulmonary embolism. And I also, this is unfortunately, my second time having a deep vein thrombosis. The first time was in 1996. And I had a pulmonary embolism then as well.
What is that?
So it's when a piece of the clot breaks off and travels, and the first place it can hit is your lung, and it will shut down your lungs. So 20% of my lung was incapacitated.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of people don't survive that first clot hit. And then another thing, the clot, if it breaks off and goes to your brain, you have a stroke. It's called I talked to the doctor yesterday, and that's what they want to watch. It's called an embolic stroke, not the same as an aneurysm. So so I'm on, because it's my second infraction, I'm on blood thinners for the rest of my life. And the sad thing about that, which I've cried, and you know how much I love to race sailboats. So anything that has a potential danger is of like bleeding to death. So if I get hit in the head by anything, my chances of dying are really high, because they won't be able to stop the bleeding up here. So all of my middle name, no fear, my persona around, life is too short not to have an adventure every day. So I'm adjusting to that, and maybe we'll go to the bottom of the bun for that. What I appreciate about myself is that I can feel the feelings fully, and then I can go, it's always this or better. So I don't understand this, because it also wiped out my trip to Africa, and the world tour right now is on hold, and I was so excited about that.
Oh, I know.
Africa, Ireland, Hawaii, Shanghai, Taiwan. So right now we have to wait and see what the hematologist says when I get back from Canada. So, but I know that everything happens for my divine and best good, and I'm not just saying that. I really know that. I have faith in that. I have trust in that. And life is way too short to feel sorry for myself for too long. So that's what I like about myself. What do you like about yourself?
What I like about myself. This guy, I was working out, and you get in the sauna. We had a conversation, and he's like a go-getter type guy. He's in the Wall Street, or he's a numbers guy making money. And he talked to me about like, what are your numbers on your new music? Tell me, so your numbers good? I'm like, I don't really look at that. labels put $1 million plus into inflating those numbers and
Exactly.
to making it look real.
Those
They,
numbers.
they put $1 million budget into that. And so I just, if I release a song and it's good enough for me, then it's good enough.
Because that is directly, how long have I been saying that?
How long has my husband been saying that to me?
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't. If you build it, they work out,
Decades.
and you're not going to make everybody happy.
Decades. It's a lesson that you can't. Nobody can really. I don't know. It's just one day you just click. And you're like,
Right.
no. I like the song. I love the song. I'm releasing the song, and it's good enough because I said so.
Exactly.
and
it doesn't mean that you're not happy. Like I just found out my impressions for this channel.
Yeah.
Guess what it is? Did I tell you yet?
Yeah, they're in the millions, right?
3 million. So it's not that I don't like knowing that I have some kind of influence in a positive way. However, I don't buy numbers. I never have and I never will. And if people say to me, if they want to come on the show, or if I invite somebody, I won't say who it was, but they came back and said, "What are your numbers?" And I said, "I don't want them anymore." So there you go. But I'm so grateful. We both have that that skill of not giving a flying fork through a rolling donut what other people think of us, because as long as we're good 88% of the time with what we've done and what we're doing and who we are, then it's golden. Compliments and criticism are just icing on our cake, and we bake our own cake.
Yes.
Where's the applause? Yeah. No.
Ninjas.
Ninjas. Self-love ninja, self-care ninjas. I hope that y'all do that too, because that's the whole point of this exercise. The bottom of the bun is so that you'll go to bed tonight not thinking about who done me wrong, who doesn't like me, how many likes don't I have literally on social media, and being your own worst enemy. We both want you to be your best supporter. I love the way you support Ricky. I want you to support yourself the same way that you support Ricky, because you are a star. We're all stars. We're all one of a kind, wonderful, and life is way too short to shit on yourself. How's that? All right. Thanks for joining us for breakfast. You can join me every weekday morning here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind, home to the Asian Oprah, #1 talk in the IE. Thank you very much. Or just do it on your own. And I promise, if you do, you will create a great good life habit, #Blisscipline, and sandwich your day in the most positive way. Thanks for joining us for breakfast. Where's my applause? I'm not used to using my brother's. I'm on a track.
Oh, his mouse.
Yes. Alrighty, dighty. What is the topic of the day? And since I didn't bring my bell,
hey you! Hey you!
Well, the topic is one of my favorite words of all time, and the word is freedom.
Woo!
Yes. My favorite word. One of my favorite words.
July 4th today.
What does it mean to be free? What does it mean?
And for those of you who are listening on the KCAA AM FM NBC News Radio channel, it will be a week later. However, the topic is still really, really important, and we can celebrate freedom every single day. So What does freedom mean to you? And we would love to get to some of your own personal definitions. Either what isn't freedom, what is freedom. The only rule is there's no politics or religion spoken in this little forum. You can all do that later. I know that Ricky is important in that way to y'all. But I've held this for
Not
30.
lately.
Oh, really?
Oh, no, I've been very like unpolitical. So,
Oh, okay.
but
Cool.
they know that they're still with me though, which is great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still along for the
Yeah.
ride.
Yes, I am all for making sure that the United States, the name United States, is not an oxymoron, right? Right, and that humankind is emphasis on kind. So
Oh, yeah, that's
that's
cool.
the only rule. All right. So what does freedom mean to you, Ricky?
Well, I don't know if this is political, but I'm proud to be an American.
Mhm.
I am proud to live where I live. Grateful. Speaking of being grateful, I'm grateful for the people who fought for our freedoms. Freedom is not free. We know that. They paid the ultimate sacrifice for us to help us get to where we are now, where I could be the type of person I am. I could say the wild things I want to say in my music, in my art, and on social media. And to me, that's freedom.
Nice. I've got three other people on blood thinners in the chat, so I'm not
Wow.
alone, which is kind of cool.
We need a show to talk about blood thinners.
I know. Let's see. I have freedom. Shane Edge says freedom is the ability to do the right thing. I like that. I like that.
Nice.
Let's see. Patricia agrees. And
The Rebel
Rebel
Mafia.
Mafia, is that a new one? A new hashtag?
No, it's an old one, but I need to make it come back.
Oh, okay. Okay. And here's all the fellow
What did she say about her story there?
Anne Marie said, oh, yes. And you helped her get through it. The worst asthma attack in the hospital for nearly 5 days. Oxygen dropped to 85. Wow.
Oh my God.
5 days to 95, is able to go on. Listening to Ricky's music helped get me through.
Oh my God. That's so
Isn't that beautiful? Yeah. You definitely get the definition of success.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that cool?
That makes my heart so happy.
To know one.
Help somebody heal.
Yes. To know that one life has breathed easier, literally breathed easier because you have lived, that is success. That's the definition that I use.
We did it.
You did it. Yay! And good
Love
for
you,
you.
Emery. Thank you for that beautiful message. I appreciate it.
In 96, I was on drip heparin for 2 weeks, not allowed to go to the bathroom, just to try to dissolve the clot. So the good news is 2 weeks. So when they first found the clot, I was like having a.
I didn't realize clots were so dangerous.
Oh yeah.
I literally thought that they were just something like, oh, they'll pass through. No, this thing is like.
Oh yeah, it's
very scary.
The fact that I developed this clot when I was in Canada in April. Remember, my mom was going into hospice, and my leg always swells because the vein valves are dead, but it usually stops being swollen at 4 or 5 days. But this swelled for the entire 2 months since April, and they said it's a miracle that I didn't die because the clot was mobile, for this whole time. So
this was 96, you're saying?
No, now 2025, from the end of April until
oh my gosh,
a week ago, I could have died like that because the clot was mobile. Yeah. So I'm
so scary.
lucky, very fortunate. And anytime I
Man.
start feeling bad about the loss of the tour or
Mm.
sailing, I think about the fact that I'm still alive. And then
You're still alive now.
oh,
My gosh. Oh wow. My uncle died of a blood clot. So sad.
yeah. So
Yeah. It's no
we've
joke.
got freedom is a blessing from Hal. It is a blessing.
Yes.
For me, freedom
Freedom.
is the ability to do what I want, when I want, how I want,
Yes. You're talking my language now.
the time. And that's why I'm still single.
I know. I have this really great song that I sang in a band called it was like a glam rock band called Harlow. I was Ricky Harlow back then, and we had a song called True Love, and it's so funny. I'll after the show I'll send you a link. It's a
Okay.
beautiful song, and it talks about how I want true love. I want to feel it, but it's like in the song he's talking about he wants to be doing everything, freedom, like to be this and to be that and to go there and to do everything. It's like, but it's an oxymoron. It's like it's not compatible with wanting true love. Does that make sense? Like
Yes.
to be in a committed relationship.
Yes. Yeah. Well,
It's antithetical sometimes to
it is.
maximum freedom.
It
You have
is.
to sacrifice, and I think that comes to the next point I want to talk about with you.
Yeah.
Is like we like having structure and that sacrifice that we're talking about is what gives us freedom. You know, the
Say more.
okay, so Patrick taught me this. Discipline.
Hey, Patrick.
Discipline and rules, and like do your laundry, make your bed, brush your teeth, blah 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 blah. You know, whatever. Work out, and eat healthy food, and all of these like boundary things we put on ourselves, right?
Limits. Mhm.
Rules and limits. We don't just freely like not brush our teeth. Our teeth will fall out. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
we have to do care and for our bodies that feel restricting and feel in order to maintain our freedom.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of want to talk to you about
Yeah,
that. Like,
that's
what are your
great.
thoughts on that? Like,
Yeah. It doesn't feel like freedom when somebody says to you, you should not eat. Like my labs came back, so this is a good example. You should not eat such and such because your cholesterol's high. Now my good cholesterol is really high, so he's not that concerned. But the other numbers make it look like I'm a pre-diabetic, and I work out every other day. I don't eat Krispy Kremes every day. I try. And so I know that I had to cut down on shrimp. I love shrimp. Who
oh my
knew?
gosh, I just had shrimp in South Carolina.
Shrimp has so much cholesterol. I was shocked to find out.
Really?
Yeah.
And
Like
fiber though, right? Lots of fiber.
bacon. Yeah. But even bacon has 90 something grams of cholesterol per ounce. But you know how much shrimp does?
What?
190. 109. Yeah.
I love
Not
both of
all
those. I love bacon,
shellfish.
shrimp, I love
Not
eggs. I
all
bet
shell-
eggs have a lot of cholesterol too, right?
They do, but not like they have good cholesterol too. So it's the shrimp and calamari are the only
I
two
love calamari
vodulators.
too.
I know. Like lobster, crab is fine. So I just switched to crab, and I'm more crabby now and less. So I've been doing that. So going back to the point is I don't like anybody telling me what to do. If you tell me you can't do this or you shouldn't do that, you better believe I'm going to do it just to, in a good way. Like not like you can't finish your PhD in 4 years.
Watch me.
Watch me. You can't finish your dissertation in a year. Watch me, right? So or my mom called me fat and ugly, right? So
You became a model.
so I became a model, won a couple of titles, so what? But inside, I still felt crappy, right? I had to do that work myself because negative motivation, I'll show you and do something, is not as good as, I wonder what I can do. And then achieving that, there's a lot more joy that comes from that than the fork you and the horse you rode in on. See what I did? That short-lived joy.
Oh, well, yeah. I've done that kind of joy.
So have I. A lot. But,
Yeah.
hopefully we've learned.
Well, I've heard that from different teachers of mine that revenge doesn't work.
Hmm.
That's what
It
they
makes
said.
it
That's what
yeah.
he told me, and I'm like, huh.
Right.
Sure feels good though. I don't know.
For
I like
for
to call it
a
justice.
juice
I
this.
like to reframe it. Like, no, I'm balancing the universe, you see.
Yeah, keep trying. Keep coming back. Let's see. I did this one. Freedom is a blessing. Go to Ricky's music for comfort. The ability to love and be loved by who you choose without judgment. Nice.
Thank you, Mary.
You could have won the Grammy.
Thank you, Shannon. We will.
I have the same problem. My good cholesterol is really good. Mine is really bad. Yeah. We Pam, we got to do the balance thing, right?
There's a balance. I don't even know what cholesterol is, to be honest.
I love having the freedom to love who I choose and having
Yeah.
to be who I want. Yeah. I have to say though, this is when I do happiness coaching with a couple. It's always so funny when both will say, I want to be loved exactly as I am. So I want someone to love me, what is that? Good, bad, and ugly, warts and all. And usually, and I'm this is not bashing women, but usually it is a group difference. The one who says, I want to be loved exactly how I am, and then they'll come into coaching session and then have a giant list of things
for their partner.
I does not do right, say right, have right. So my first thing is usually with the woman alone and say, you can't have this both ways, so it is interesting, right?
We got to love people for who they are and who they are not.
And it's 88%. I think our whole upbringing to try to be perfect is, forgot to put this on silent, apologize. Our ability to be easy on ourselves. We're not perfect, we're human, but a lot of us, especially if you've had childhood trauma, which I did, we think that being perfect equals being loved. And so we try our entire lives to be perfect and we fall down all the time. And then as soon as we've be 99% perfect, we fall down one time, whether it's as a good mother or a good employee or, whatever it is. And then we're scrambling again to get back on the perfect pedestal, and it's not there. And so when we cut ourselves the slack, that's why I always say 88% perfect. 12% of the time I step in it, and it's okay. I'm not perfect, and it's okay. I think it's okay is the most important part of that statement, because we all say, we're not perfect, but we got to be okay with that.
Yeah, it's a part of our character, right?
Yes.
Being imperfect is our part of our character. I had this with my therapist the other day. This conversation, one of my things I do is look in the mirror and say, I love you. I believe in you. You're a star. You're just the best. I'm so proud of you. And You got to look at yourself and right in your eyes. You got to do it. And it's crazy because you start to, when you first look in the mirror, all you see are like flaws. That's what I told her. Oh, the flaws. I have to look in the mirror and be like, perfect lighting, perfect this, perfect that. But if the lighting isn't perfect, you just see flaws. And she's like, no, you know what you're seeing? Imperfections. And imperfections are what make you who you are, who make you unique, make you part of your own character. And then I thought to myself, it's like, it's imperfect. So what? That's cool. That is cool.
Yeah.
It's not cool to be perfect. Perfect is not the goal. It's not. it's just not interesting.
We had a whole show about this 2 weeks ago. So if you want to embrace your weirdness, because that is the new great thing, go listen to that show. And it's a free subscribe on either of our YouTube channel. Give us this one, not the other one, and you can get that show. So we're talking about freedom. We're going to have to take a quick break for news, weather, and traffic here on Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show and special series every other Friday is Straight Talk with myself and
Ricky Rebel.
We'll be right back. Don't go away. We've got plenty more to talk to you about when it comes to freedom. Happy Freedom Day. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Well, she has been dubbed the Asian Oprah, and she just wants all of us to be happy.
Dr. Marissa, aka the Asian Oprah, says the most important thing you can choose is choosing to be happy.
You are tuned into my weekly talk radio TV show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa.
That's the idea for Dr. Marissa Pay's new book called 8 Ways to Be Happy.
Many of us say, I am my own worst critic. Nobody's harder on me than I am. And my response to that is, stop it! Why are you doing that to yourself? You have to be your biggest fan, because if you can't at the end of the day say, I did a good job, who is? We don't have to constantly be angry at the things that are wrong. Why don't we choose to be happy about things that are right? We have the choice. That's our muscle. And life is so amazing if we can see it.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, station that leaves no listener behind. Home to the Asian Oprah, number one talk in the IE. Thank you very much. And streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, and of course my YouTube TV channel, which if you free subscribe, you'll get an alert every weekday morning to balance out all the bad news out there and talk about meaningful topics that will help you be happy 88% of the time. Why not 100% of the time? Well, if you're 100% happy, you are dead. I don't want dead people walking, talking, or watching. Instead, if you're most of the time claiming your birthright to happiness, that is great enough for me. And every other Friday, I have my fabulous co-host. His name is Ricky Rebel. You will know him from a lot of different places and platforms, and he is got all of his rebel mafia here in studio in the Cashew Gallery, and we're so glad to have you here and all the love and support that you're offering him, and well deserved. Welcome back to the show, Ricky Rebel. We're talking about freedom. Let's see. We have. Oh, thank you, Hal.
It was cool.
Nice super spot. Not a G spot. It was a super spot.
Did you just bleep yourself?
No, I didn't. I'm sorry. It's Friday. I'm in Canada. I am Yeah, just sort of balancing out because tomorrow's the service. I finished the eulogy. I finished the slideshow presentation, and now we're, my brother's freaking out about pallbearers because apparently it's very heavy to do all that. But
It is, yeah.
yeah, but freedom to me is knowing everything's gonna be okay. I think that is the biggest source of my ability to love my life because I've taken over the hashtag I love my life because I know no matter what happens, blood clots, deaths, no matter what happens, everything's going to be okay in the end. And if it's not okay, it's not the end. And when I got to interview Halle Berry, she had a similar, I asked her what her life motto was. And she said, when you're going through hell, keep going. And it truly is freedom when you can not get knocked down so badly that you lose your love for life. And unfortunately, that is something that is happening more and more. The more people on anti-anxiety, anti-depression drugs, because that is a symptom that don't think everything's going to be okay. You're in that state of hopelessness, and that is not free.
Yeah, freedom exists in the mind. Period. End of statement. It's did you ever read that or hear about that book of the man who was in the concentration camps, the Jewish concentration camps? And he wrote a book about what the meaning of life was. And the meaning. And basically, I'm really paraphrasing everything about this book, but the bottom line is he realized that even under extreme circumstances and torturous things happening, that one can find a world with your own mind where you are completely free, even when you're starving or crazy things are happening. To me, that's ultimate freedom. It's the ultimate freedom is inside of us. It's our ability to self-generate love, joy, and happiness.
I found his name's Viktor Frankl, and his most famous quote is, "Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one attitude in any given set of circumstances." That's brilliant. Yes.
That's it.
Perfect.
That's what we're saying.
Yes. It doesn't, I call that unconditional happiness. So no matter what shivers, no matter what the condition is around you, you can choose to be happy.
That's freedom.
Choose to feel free because
you choose your attitude.
Says it's centered in the mind. That is the ticket to an amazing life. We are both testaments of that. I mean, even when we first met, I mean, look at what's happened since we've met in your career.
Right.
Hello. And it was, we did that exercise. Remember at the beginning, wouldn't it be nice if, wouldn't it be great if, and we put out our intentions and, and I know World Tour may be off for now, but it's because there's something greater that's going to happen, because it's always this or better, always. And so people will say, oh, where's your proof, or how do you know that? And it's, well, it's happened in my entire life, right? I lost a $200,000 consulting project only to have time to write a #1 Amazon and national best-selling book.
Thank you.
Always this and better. A tragedy happens and I end up on the front page as a grief expert, right? So everything happens for our divine and best good. But if you believe that the world is, that life is random and chaotic and there is no God and there is no semblance of goodness, then you're going to have a tough time, because then every day you're going to, hold your breath expecting the other shoe to drop. You can't even enjoy the good shoe because the other bad shoe is going to drop. You can't relax because somebody's going to hurt you or steal from you. And that's a horrible way to live. That's why I don't watch TV. That's why I don't talk about the news, because it just sets me in a place where I'm hopeless, not hopeful.
I love that. I love that you're doing that, and that you're, it's making you more of a hopeful person, because it's self-generated. I believe that. When we first met, talking about that, like, I was so resistant to you. So resistant to The Power of Positive Thinking by Neil Donald Walsh. No, that's our favorite guy. It's The Power of Positive Thinking by, who wrote that book?
Look it up.
I read that book.
Norman Vincent
Peale.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Norman Vincent Peale. Great book. I mean, it's like the precursor to like the laws of attraction, and the ideas that that our thoughts can attract to us similarities to what we're thinking. That makes perfect sense to me. But at the time, I was being very resistant, and I've been through different phases of my life. You mentioned God, and you mentioned people that don't believe in God, and I've been through a lot of different phases in my life. I'm in this really nice middle ground right now with all of that. Speaking of freedom, I think, God comes into play with all of this.
Mm-hmm. I don't even like dropping the G word.
The G.
Sometimes the G bomb, because I grew up with an angry G word, and
so did I.
Being punished. Yeah, so I went.
The Bible scared the heck out of me as a kid. I mean, I opened it. I know we're not supposed to talk about religion, but anyway.
Yeah. I almost forgot too. Well,
I got to my philosophy, what my philosophy of life is, and it's about. I'm an existentialist. Okay, I'm a Stoic as well. I love Stoicism. I'm not a very high practicing level.
Stoic. You're not.
I'm not a good Stoic.
I'm sorry, you fail.
I fail at that, but I like it. I like the philosophy. It's like me admiring a beautiful painting. It's like, okay, I can't paint a Rembrandt, but I love it. I get what you're saying, Marcus Aurelius. So I do appreciate Stoicism, but I really love, and I can say I am a practitioner of the philosophy of what it means to be an existentialist. So existentialism is that the idea that that things do not necessarily have any meaning towards it other than what it is that we give meaning to. So I think that's what the man we were talking about, I think that's what he's doing. That's what he's talking about. He's choosing his attitude towards the things that are happening to him. So in a way, in my philosophy of life is like, well, he's choosing what certain things are going to mean for him. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's always that saved me, like back in my 20s. That got me through my 20s to 30s up to now. And now I have, my philosophy is blooming into other things now, thanks to you and thanks to therapy and thanks to all kinds of stuff. I mean, I still love that idea that I have control over what things mean. I love that. Mm-hmm. To me, that's ultimate freedom as well.
Yes.
Like something happens and I say, well, that means something great's going to come out of that. Mm-hmm. And they're like, that's not what that means. That means, no, that means what I said it means, because I said it means that.
Exactly.
Okay.
The power of choice.
I made that mean that. So we're done with the conversation.
Yes.
So, but that's this idea that, like, in the end, there is no real meaning. And people get upset when I say, like, oh my God, that's so sad. I'm like, no, that's so cool. That's so freeing.
It is. That's freedom, that you can decipher and explain and design. I love that word.
That's a good word.
Design what things mean to you. And I'll give you the most powerful example that I know is the one that I just went through. So I spent my entire life being, um, angry, and not in my entire life, but the first part of my life being very angry and resentful that I had a mom that didn't think I was the best thing since sliced bread, that would constantly put me down, that would constantly hurt me mentally, physically, emotionally. And it was not fair. And how dare she do that? And mom shouldn't do that. They're supposed to be your best friend, blah, 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 blah. And I chose to see how unfair that was to me. That's the glasses I wore for many decades. And then 16, 20 years ago, I began to do that. Well, wait a minute. What meaning am I deciding to look at this? And my big brother, Michael Bernard Beckwith, who was one of the teachers on The Secret, he asked me a mind-blowing question, which was, if my mom did exactly what she did, was there anything that was developed in me as a direct result of that treatment that I actually like about myself? And that blew my mind. Different set of glasses, blew my top of my head up. And so all of a sudden I could see that, yeah, actually, I'm resilient, I'm strong, I'm, all of those things that developed as a direct result of that. And then people would say, yeah, but don't you think you could have been that way without being hurt? Right. So, and then the answer is maybe, maybe not. But I do know that it did happen, and I am who I am now. And I feel better if I think of it this way versus that way. And I can choose which way I look at that. And that was like 88% of the anger that I had felt for her dissipated. However, there was still 12% in there that would lead me to, I would visit her 2, 3, 4 times a year in Canada, coming from California. I would call her every other day. I didn't want to, but I did because I'm a good daughter. And the 2 months ago when I was here, I had the 12% I was free because I realized that everyone does the very best that they can with the resources they have at the time and the time that they have at the time. And my mother really did love me. And that was the only way she could show me how to do it. Now, some of you say, well, you're condoning what she did and nobody should hurt their children, blah, blah, blah. Yes. And am I going to hold this as, again, which feels better? The way I'm defining it this way or the way I had been? And that's the freedom to choose how to see every single thing that happens in our past, present, and future. That is freedom.
That is freedom. That's it. I think we nailed it. I think you nailed it.
Thank you.
You should give yourself a moose drop.
I didn't bring my moose.
No, how could you not bring the moose?
No, I forgot to bring the moose. I'll have to go buy another one to use for the rest of the month. But I'm so, Ricky, this is one of the best things about, and Ricky and I actually met not accidentally, through trauma from a wacko woman who, we kind of have to thank her for putting us together. Because, there's another thing, a freedom to not be angry at her anymore. She's doing the very best that she can. I don't necessarily want to hang out with her or be within her realm, but I can even
thank her.
Yes. Yes. I had a word. It's not radical forgiveness. It is, and then I realized it might not be. I was going to call it freebasing forgiveness.
Freebasing.
Was something to do with rock climbing, but I think it's something to do with drugs. So
I understand. Yeah. You and I both are
so naive. Sorry.
So naive, both of us.
Yeah, we are. I got a face soap that's called Naive. I thought of you.
Oh, it's cute. Yeah. So cute.
I want to bring it back. All right. Final word.
Final word. I'm just so happy on this day. It's such a beautiful day. I'm going to spend it with the people I love, and I want everybody in the audience to do that as well. And be grateful for all the beautiful things in your life. Um, I have a new. I'm on a cover of a magazine. I'm grateful for. You can check it out on my social media accounts at Ricky Rebel Rocks or RickyRebelRocks.com on the cover
I
of
saw
Los
that.
Angeles
Los
Future.
Angeles.
Yay!
Amazing. Mine's called Dizzy. I'd much rather have Los Angeles than the
Dizzy
being the
Mag,
cover
right?
on Dizzy. You've been on Dizzy too.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great. I mean, I more covers than I've had now than I did, when I first started. So we're
Yes.
working it. We are working it, and
Yes.
life is good. And appreciate all the people who have, you know, sacrificed their lives for our freedoms today in this beautiful country, America. I love America. I'm so grateful. That's it.
Yes. That's it. I'm also grateful. Happy 4th, happy Freedom Day. And yes, let's not forget to, however you feel about war, um, if you're not for war, that doesn't negate the fact that for many wars, people went out and risked their lives for the freedoms that we do enjoy. And let's hear it for the freedoms that we want to continue to enjoy in this very special country of ours. So happy birthday to America.
Yeah.
I became American first group after 9/11. I chose to be American. So for me, this is a very, very important country. So happy birthday.
Happy
And
birthday.
it's all about balance, peace in, peace out, world
Peace.
peace through inner
Mm.
peace. Thanks for joining us. Really great Cashew Gallery today. Now,
Yeah, very active. We appreciate it.
yes, Ricky, take us out.
All right, everyone. We want you to have the best weekend ever.